Is it clickable or is it grayed out?
I clicked it.
Okay.
It says recording pending.
Okay, hold on.
That's weird.
Okay, so she must have created the link somehow, Laura. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
All right, so but we can record it. Okay, that's
Yep,
fine.
she's recording now.
Start.
I see it now.
Yep,
Great.
so go ahead and if you want to hit it.
I sure will. Thank you.
Already said it started. It just popped up on my screen as it's already started.
Yep, yeah, the recording side. I just wanted her to go through the meeting's open, so we'll call it to order, and Laura can read the disclaimer.
I will. This open meeting of the Mendon Select Board is being conducted remotely consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 24th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the Governor's order suspends the requirements of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the Mendon Select Board is convening by telephone conference as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Go ahead.
All right, just a couple ground rules. Please mute your microphones for Teams and also your phones until you have a question or need to speak, and we'll go from here. So, okay, which we should do the Pledge of Allegiance, right? I think, wait, have we done it in a while? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thanks, everyone. All right, citizens' petitions and statements. I don't think, do we have one? Let's see. So,
It's just correspondence.
okay. Oh, correspondence. Okay, so we have the waiving the plumbing permit for the American Legion. I'm totally fine with that. Chris, if you want to make a motion.
Yeah, I'll move to approve the plumbing permit fee waiver for the American Legion.
Step down in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Burke, aye.
Tenio, aye. Great. Thanks, Susan. I'm assuming you came for that. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, Susan. I can't hear you.
Got it.
Okay.
So I need an electrical permit also. So every time I need a permit, we need to do this, or can I just say that all permits pertaining to the reconstruction of the Legion are waived?
I'm okay with that. We'd have to I'm sorry, Kim, you're on mute. Oh, sorry. I'd be okay with that as long as we'd have to revote it though, because we only just waived the plumbing fee. Chris, do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't have any objection to that.
All right, you want to just remake the motion?
So moved. All plumbing fees.
No, all permit fees.
I'm sorry, all permit fees.
I'll step down in second. Discussion. All those in favor?
Burke, aye.
Tenio, aye. All right, that's perfect. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
So we have a National Grid public hearing. Sorry about that. Do we have the National Grid folks here?
Gonna open up the hearing.
So I'm going to open up the hearing in conformity with the requirements of the Mass General Law, Chapter 166, Section 22. The Mendon Select Board hereby gives notice that it will hold a virtual public hearing on January 7th, 2021 at 6 p.m. via MS Teams meeting for Verizon New England Inc. and Massachusetts Electric Company, NGrid, to install a heavy-duty handhole/pull box number 1 on Dudley Road. The hearing may be joined via telephone conference by dialing 1-347-467-1434, conference ID 451-963-437, or by video conference by visiting www.mendonma.gov and clicking the link on the January 7, 2021 on the calendar posted on the town website. All interested parties will be given an opportunity to be heard.
I move to open up the public hearing for National Grid to install the handhole pull box number 1 on Dudley Road.
Step down in second. Discussion, all in favor?
Burke, aye.
Tenio, aye. I'm assuming this is for the new subdivision that's being put in off of Dudley, and this is just the standard requirement for to install that pole box.
Lonnie, yes. Al Galvin from National Grid confirmed he'd be on the call tonight. He had all of the information, so I'm not really sure why he hasn't
No.
joined
Can
us
you hear me all
yet.
right?
Oh, here he is.
Oh, great.
Sorry, I checked in earlier. I didn't know if anybody heard me.
Sorry, go ahead, Al.
No, what you said is pretty much straightforward. They've they needed to tap into the existing primary there with a heavy-duty handhold. It'll be in the well, it's already been done. It's in the sidewalk, you know, for traffic's sake, and they've already come across, and I guess they're currently starting to install the transformers for that new development across the street. So I think pretty much all the work's been done.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, take a motion to close the hearing.
I move to close the public hearing for National Grid to install a handhold pole box number 1 on Dudley Road.
Step down in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Burke, aye.
Tenio, aye. And then we'll
I move to authorize National Grid to install a handhold pole box number 1 on Dudley Road.
step down in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Burke, aye.
Tenio, aye. All set. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, discuss Applewood subdivision.
Hi.
Hi, Ann.
So last time you were here, you looked at this memorandum of understanding that you signed, but changes needed to be made. And I don't know if you remember, but it's an open space subdivision, and there's on one of the lots, there's the access easement to get to the open space, and that lot is being sold on January 14th. So it's sort of tight on time, but there's minor changes that might be made, and I'm working with Cindy Amara, town council on it. And she said that if you voted that you agree to have Mark sign the MOU, with slight changes approved by town council, then we could make adjustments as needed. And so that's what I'm asking you to do.
Okay.
Was this something that was overlooked, Ann, or was this something that I'm confused on?
Yeah.
There's an awful lot of work on this, so.
The developer has really been difficult. I've been working for like a year and 3 months on this memorandum of understanding. We finally have it down to something that everybody will sign. But one of the changes is that Metacomet Land Trust at this point will not sign it until they know that the easement is public and they'll have access. So one of the items is taking their name off of it. It's also, there's we're still working with the developer on how we can use the open space. I don't know if you remember it, but there's like a little corner of the subdivision that attaches to the open space, and the easement goes to that corner. And then the large part of the open space doesn't abut the neighborhood or anything. And we want to allow passive recreation and hunting, horseback riding, and they don't want that. And so we're still trying to negotiate with them on that. And so that's one of the things that might change.
So I'm confused on, oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead, Lonnie.
All right, so once it's open space and the town has acquired it, why would there be any concern of what can be done with it?
Well,
I mean, passive recreation is passive recreation, whether it's hunting or fishing or I just don't understand how.
I guess so part of it is that we want them to sign this memorandum of understanding because the developer has really not been worked with us very well. And so we want to make sure, first of all, they hand over the open space. This access easement is public. They mark the boundaries of the open space so that we can monitor it. And in that also, they talk about on the access easement, they don't want the little strip that is in the neighborhood. They don't want hunting on that, which you can't anyways, because it's too close to the houses. And,
Right.
so they're putting a restriction, they want to put a restriction in the open space, and we're trying to take that off. And so that would be the change.
Okay.
And it's like, and I guess what I should say is that because of this fiasco with them, we've changed the bylaw so this won't happen again. The easement cannot be on, the easement is on someone's property, which is not ideal. And now that that's not allowed, the town has to own the easement.
To own the
yeah,
land or the easement? There wouldn't be an easement.
Land and easement. I mean, no easement.
Right.
It has to be land the town owns, and
Got
it goes to the open space, and so we sort of learned.
It will reduce the lot size of those lots. There'll be a piece of strip of land that goes up to the back, and I mean, if they decide to mow it, then whatever. But I know what you mean.
But and we should have done that with this subdivision, but it seemed like they were, the engineer was saying, oh, it'll take so much time and so much paperwork to do the nitrogen aggregation with it. But we should have said, you do it then, but we didn't.
I understand. Okay.
Now, there's another part to that, but go on.
I was going to say, I apologize. I'm just a little bit confused because we had an MOU that we approved, and now it's changing. So why were we approving an MOU? When I approve an MOU, I look at that as this agreement it's been vetted through, our council's vetted it through, the parties that we're negotiating is vetted it through, and we're all set. And now all of a sudden we're at this 11th hour change, and I'm just confused on how we got to where we are.
It started is we started out with an MOU, and town council and their lawyer and I and Metacomet Land Trust, we worked, kept on, working it. And it got to be like a lot of time. And I realized that the developer was just dragging us along. And every time we were like, almost we're done, they always had one more change. So I went back to the original MOU that they signed. And that's what you signed, you agreed to sign. And, but the thing is Metacomet Land Trust would not sign it because they weren't guaranteed that there would be access to the open space. So we went back to the developer and came up with a similar MOU. And this has everything that we need, except for this one thing that I'm still working with town council on and their lawyer. And it's ridiculous, but it's like we don't have any leverage because the planning board released all the lots. And so the way it was supposed to work is that the MOU is supposed to be signed and then lots would be released. But they released the lots before the MOU was signed.
So what does that mean legally? I mean, if the lots have been released and this MOU is not signed, what does that mean?
It just means that we don't have a lot of leverage. And so this MOU gives us some leverage, and I want to have that. So we just make sure that everything falls in place. Because it's been difficult working with this developer. And
no, I understand, but it's also, Kim, can you help me out here for a second? Because Cindy's not on the call. Are there any legal ramifications since the planning board has released the lots to the builder and we don't have an official MOU? Are there any legal ramifications on this?
Potentially, but town council and the planning board and Ann have been working together on this in order to come to an agreement, in order to try to create some sort of, I don't want to say enforcement, that's too strong, but basically to create some sort of teeth in order to get this person to comply. So if we put something in place, of course, there's going to be a potential ramification for it. I mean, that's the goal, right? Now, is it going to hurt us? No. I mean, I think this should have been included in the first place. I mean, and that's why we then created the new bylaw in order to make sure it doesn't happen in the future.
Can I add one thing, Chris?
Sure.
I was going to say, the MOU, I just lost my train of thought about the, I know. Sorry, wait a minute. Oh, I know. Okay. So one reason I want this MOU signed is that on January 14th, they're selling the lot that has the easement on it. And the MOU says that that easement is going to be public and will be given to the town. My concern is that the lot will be sold, the easement will not be on it, and then the town is going to end up getting in a lawsuit with this homeowner that's not letting us get to the open space, because the bylaw says that we need to get to the open, you have to provide open space to the public. And so part of this MOU is to head off a lawsuit against a property owner.
The subdivision plan should show the easement on it, no?
It does show the easement on it, but
Okay,
there's
that's
nothing
what's
written that it's public, and there's not, and that plan has not been recorded yet.
Hold on, what do you mean? If the planning board approved the subdivision, the plan has been recorded?
Well, I mean, it's not like in the registry of deeds. They did approve the plan that was approved, put together by the engineer and signed. They did sign a plan, and it has the easement on it. But I just want to make sure that all the requirements.
I understand, but I'm pretty sure if unless I'm completely wrong, if a subdivision's been approved, it's recorded.
Well, I mean, the plan itself is not at the registry of deeds, I don't think. But
Well, so I'm going the way Lonnie's going on this, and that's why I'm bringing it up, Ann, because it seems like there's either a step that's been missed or there's been steps that have happened that put us into this unique bind. And, we have an MOU that's already been signed, or approved by us. Let me just say that. And now if we approve another one that could conflict with what's been done already, that's what I was concerned about.
the MOU that you would be signing or allowing Mark to sign is almost identical with this other MOU. But the only change would be that Metacomet Land Trust would not be on it. And that we're trying to include that hunting would be allowed on the open space, that the parcel that's away from the subdivision, and other passive recreation activities. And so those are the only changes from the MOU, original one.
I've got Cindy on the line. I'm going to text her the number she's going to call in to answer your questions, okay?
Sorry, before she jumps on, Tanya, are you there? I just saw him get up. I don't know if he's just waiting to find out about that pull box. I didn't want to make him wait on the meeting if it wasn't necessary, but he stepped away.
Yeah, I understand. I know you've been working really hard on this, Ann, and I want it to be done right. That's why it's just so confusing to me.
Well, Cindy can fill you in. It's just been very difficult working with this developer. And it was unfortunate that the lots were released before the MOU was signed, but the engineer told the planning board, I didn't happen to be at that meeting, and they said, is it all set? The MOU, is everything signed? And he said, oh, yes, it's all set, which it wasn't. And then they said, okay, all the lots are released, and then we lost all our leverage, I mean, in the end, it should work out fine, but.
Just trying to avoid a lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, the town's had enough of them.
We have.
Yeah. Until Cindy gets on, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, could I start talking about that? It has to do with Applewood.
Sure.
The Morrison property that the town owns, I think that the shell of the police station is on it, and then the fire station is on it, that piece. And I think you're having it assessed because you might want to sell part of it.
I'm sorry, ask that again. I'm sorry. I guess
the piece, the town owns a parcel on Morrison Drive, and it has the fire station on it, and then that shell of the police station, or that was going to be a police station. And I think you're having part of it assessed to sell it, possibly.
Okay.
Okay, and so that has access to this open space. And so whether you sell it or keep that property, we should keep an access like a strip so that the open space can be accessed from the Morrison Drive.
If we were to do that, does that solve this problem?
It helps the problem a lot because having to deal with an easement on a lot is a pain. But the thing is that lot's going to be sold on January 14th, and we need some kind of access. And plus that's, if they're going to provide the open space and open space subdivision, they have to make a public easement. You know what I mean? They can't just have open space that's totally not connected to the subdivision.
No, I understand that, but we control the lot we own.
Right, exactly.
Let me
Right.
just chime in on this one too. So I'm working with KW on the potential assessment of these properties and then any future development possibilities. I have mentioned to them that we do have property and we'd be interested in maintaining an easement no matter what we do over there, however it turns out. So they are aware of the issue. So that they are aware. That's as far as we can go until we know what possible options are for the actual site and how we would divide it up, if we would divide it up and what that would look like. So but they're aware of the want to maintain an easement over there.
I mean, the easement doesn't have to be that big. I mean, it's what, 20
Right.
feet long?
Right.
And 20 feet wide, I'm sorry, is the
Yeah.
length it takes to get to the back, and we control that property, and that solves it could
Yeah.
potentially solve the easement, although you want the easement from the development, I understand, Ann, but at least that solves the problem in case we get into a bind.
Exactly. And also there's some parking there because it's like kind of a cul-de-sac, so you could park there. But that lot though, wouldn't you want to keep that in case like the fire station ever wanted to expand or anything like that? You know, you don't, just seems like, I don't know how much money you could get for it, but
Well, right now, we have owning that lot, the public has full access to the backland. You know, so anybody can walk over that land right now with the town owning it. So,
right. No, I was just saying in terms of selling it, it just seems like a lot that you would want to keep, you know, for future, but I don't know.
we have that whole backland where the police station is too, that I know we're looking at, trying to figure out what we want to do, but it's, anyways, even if I don't know the answer to that. I mean, that's further
Right.
down the
I
conversation.
mean, there's so many variables in that equation, one of which is whether the town maintains its current size, whether its needs are the same size for fire in the same way, whether that location makes the most sense for possibly joint, response in multiple communities, all of those things, whether that facility is even large enough to continue to grow in. There's a lot of issues that get looked at when we decide. I mean, ideally, right now, they're right where they are, and that's about as much as we need. But I mean, in the future, so many things could change. So, I mean, I don't know that that's an ideal location for any public safety related building, but that's where it is for now, and we're maintaining it where it is. And when things change, we'll reassess.
So just keep an easement or a section to get to the
Yes.
open space at any rate.
So Cindy is driving in the car and she is trying to pull over. There she is, in order to get access to the meeting. So that's what the delay is.
Cindy?
Cindy, are you there? Can you hear us? Please don't crash. I'm just going to call her.
Hi,
All right, go ahead. Can you hear her now? We're going to work around technology. Okay,
sorry, I can't seem to get the passcode.
that's okay. Your number is registered on the screen, and that's good enough for, public, transparency. Go ahead. So there are some questions about changes to the Applewood MOU at this point. These guys have some follow-ups.
Okay.
Do you want to talk? Well, go ahead, Ann. Why don't you start? Just,
Well, I was just letting the select board know that we have an MOU that's almost ready to sign. It's very similar to the original one, but there might be some changes. And so I was asking them to vote that Mark could sign the MOU with slight changes as long as it was approved by you.
Okay, that works for me. If it works for the board. Right now, the MOU, and do you have the MOU that was presented to us? And have you showed them the changes, the minor changes we want to make?
I told them that, well, one, Metacomet Land Trust isn't on it. And then about the open space that we're trying to get it so that the hunting and horseback riding and biking would be allowed on that parcel C.
Right, that's really the only change as far as I can see, is we're trying to get them to allow us to have those activities only on parcel C, not on the easement and not on A and B, because they're too close to existing residences anyway. And I've sent an email and left a voicemail for their attorney, and hopefully I will hear back from him tomorrow.
okay.
Cindy, the question that this is Chris. The question that I brought up is Ann informed us that the planning board has already released the lots, and which concerned me because those lots, there's one lot, the lot that we're talking about in particular, is scheduled to be sold on January 14th. And does that open us up for potential litigation because the planning board's already released those lots?
I don't think so, because the deed they have for that lot references the open space easement, and it's clear that they are purchasing property with an access easement on it, and that access easement limits what they can do. They can do landscaping if they want on it, but that it's public access. So I don't see that as a problem in terms of the landowner purchasing the lot and saying, no. I mean, the deed I have seen references the access easement on lot, I believe it's lot 5.
It is.
And that's also shown on the Alta that they have?
I'm sorry?
And that's also shown on the Alta survey that they have?
I don't know that I've seen the offer survey.
Alta.
The deed is what will govern, and their planning board approval requires them to have this.
And it's on that plan that the planning board signed, the access on lot 5.
Okay.
And that should be recorded.
You know,
I mean, if they don't follow through, they're in violation of the subdivision, and they've got bigger problems. They've got huge problems.
Okay. All right, then I'm good.
Okay.
I mean, all that being said, that doesn't mean people can't do unwise or ridiculous things, but I don't see, I mean, the lot's released already anyway. There's nothing you can really do. But it should be released, and it's released according to the plan, subject to this easement, and the deed I saw had a reference to this easement.
and the one thing I like also about the MOU is that it explicitly says that the developer, before the road bond money is given, will hand the open space over with the easement rights. Because I don't want the developer to keep the rights to the easement because that wouldn't be helpful to the town. So there's a couple things in the MOU that would be very helpful to the town.
Okay. With that explanation, then I'm fine.
Okay, so we're fine with making
Having
the
Mark,
changes.
having Mark sign the updated
If
MOU.
I mean, obviously, if everybody's in agreement, then I'm totally,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. So, yeah,
So
that's.
do we need to do a motion for this? If we do, I move to authorize Mark to sign the MOU pending approval from our town council.
Step down in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Burke, aye.
Tenio, aye. Okay.
Thanks for all
Real
the hard work on this, Ann.
Yeah, thank you, and sorry for all the confusion, but next time it should be much better.
Yeah, we just want to get it right, obviously. We've been, like you said, we've been through a lot of lawsuits, so.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Cindy.
Thanks, Ann.
Bye-bye.
Consider appointment of part-time administrative assistant, council on aging, senior center.
I move to appoint Lena Remillard to the part-time position of administrative assistant for the Council on Aging Senior Center, rate $19.78 per hour, up to 18 hours per week, with the start date of January 19th, 2021, pending successful background check.
Step down in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Burke, aye.
Tenio, aye. Consider a police station schedule side letter. Believe this has already been hashed out, so we just have to act upon it.
So I move to approve the amended police schedule side letter MOU with the Mass Coalition Police Union, AFL-CIO, Local 188, from January 2021 through June 2021.
Step down in second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Burke, aye.
Tenio, aye. Okay, consider Roselli Clark and Associates Auditing Services Contract.
I move to authorize the town administrator to sign a contract with Rizzoli, Clark and Associates for auditing services for FY21, FY22, and FY23.
Step down in second. Discussion. Kim, I just assume this is the auditor, right?
It is, and I just wanted to say, I've been pleased with, since we've made the switch, I think they do an excellent job. I think they're very thorough, and they certainly have been very prompt and timely with their reports. I have no complaints and happy to have them back on board.
All in favor?
Burke, aye.
Tenio, aye. We got the Eric Kensherf CPA accounting service contract.
So I move to authorize the town administrator to sign the contract with Eric Kensherf, CPA, for accounting services FY21.
Step down in second. Discussion.
This is the same, we've worked with Eric and his company for many years, and I certainly thank them for their hard work. It's been a difficult year with everybody working remotely and in different capacities, and I feel like they certainly have stepped up. Certainly when we have asked them to look in certain areas, they've accomplished it, and they've, found a number of things that we were unaware of, and they've helped us resolve them. So I'm pleased to have them remain on board as part of our team.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Burke, aye.
Tenio, aye.
Real eye.
Oh, hey, Mark.
I'm back. Well, I've actually been here the whole time, but
All right.
it's been an issue. So
That's all
just keep going.
All right. Do we have anything for other topics not reasonably anticipated? Okay. Do we need executive session? Okay. I move to enter an executive session under purpose 3 of Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, number 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with the Mass Coalition of Police Union, AFL-CIO, Local 188. Roll call vote needed. We will reconvene only to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion? If you're saying something, Kim, I can't hear you. All right. All in favor?
Burke, aye.
Tenio, aye.
Real eye.
Okay, see you guys at the next meeting.
All right.